They say that if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. False.
Keep my spirit alive. Keep my spirit alive. Morning enough. That's crooked. Hold on.
All right, so for this video, I know there's gonna be some folks, the practical, sorry, I just ran downstairs because I'm excited. The practical, reasonable person is gonna have a lot of objections to this video. I know, because I was the practical, objective, reasonable person or whatever, right? And I have been for so long. By the way, I went back black on my hair. I've been that dude for so long. And I'm done with that this year. I'm done with that. Well, it really kind of started last year that I started thinking this way, and it's been going great for me. This kind of ties in with the video I did called Get Your Hopes Up. Maybe you're like me, and if you're like me, then you and we have been approaching our ambitions, our goals, our dreams in a backwards manner. For me, it has always been, what is practical? What is reasonable? What is obviously obtainable, right? That's the safe route, because I don't want to waste time on stuff that's unsafe or not guaranteed or whatever. Let's go the safe route. And then that will become my ambition. That will become my dream. But we should be doing it in the other way. It should be, what is the dream? What is the passion? What is the thing that you so want to do, that you've always wanted to do? And it seems a little out of touch with reality. It doesn't seem realistic, but you would love it if it happened. Start there and then reverse engineer it. Okay, how do I get there? I don't know how I get from here to there, but there's a lot of steps in between with a little bit of, luck and divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, with some or a lot of assistance outside of myself, but a lot of preparation on my end and a lot of practical planning. I can reverse engineer this thing. Okay, to get there, what do I need to be doing today? What do I need to be doing this morning, this afternoon? What do I need to write out that makes that dream become realistic? It's just a dream, but if I reverse engineer it, it works back to what's reality. We've been doing it the other way. It's what is realistic, what is practical, what is obviously obtainable, and then that becomes the dream. We sell ourselves short. We set the bar low on purpose so that we won't fail or that it won't be too hard to succeed. You may feel like you don't have time to be unrealistic. You may feel like there's not enough time to have dreams, that you should just focus on what's practical because that's what's most efficient. And that's going to make the most of your time. You feel like you don't have time to be unrealistic. But I'm learning you don't have time to be realistic. You don't have time to start with the practical. Our life is short, man. We don't have a lot of time here. And we could be wasting it by looking down at the reasonable. But it's like, the sooner you get to thinking unrealistic things, you start to focus on the dream, on what seems impossible, then you have more time to focus on how to make that thing reality. You cut it up in small little bits and you start to realize like, oh, if I do this and I do this and I take this chance here and it's gonna be some risk taking and again, some things that are gonna be out of my control, right? But whatever's in my control, I'm gonna do that. I can't control things outside of myself. I can't control when an opportunity comes all the time. Sometimes these great opportunities fall in your lap, but they only fall in your lap because you've been making these practical steps and pushing towards that thing. And I'm understanding that on a deeper way, in a deeper way right now. I don't have time. I don't have time to play safe. Say your dream will likely be, 5 to 10 years from now. Get into the point that you want to be. There's somewhere you want to be in 5 to 10 years. You may not know what year 6 and 7 or 8 are supposed to look like, or even you just know what 10 looks like. You don't know what 5, 6, and 7, but you can figure out what year 1 is. You can figure that for this year. Matter of fact, you can figure out what month 1 is, what week 1 is. Week 1 is this. I need to focus on this. This is what if I want to be there, then what I got to do today, day 1 is this. And then we'll focus on day 2 when it gets there. Day 1 will set me up for day 2 where I want to be there, and day 3 and so forth. And then now we're in months, we're in years. And you start to realize that that delusional dream is not as delusional as you thought, because it now becomes more practical and daily. The work that you have to put in, and not just crossing your fingers and hoping something will happen, that something that will just magically change about yourself, or that some opportunity will just magically fall. I hope I win the lottery. So don't start with the concrete, start with the abstract, right? Don't start with what's reasonable, start with what's unreasonable. Don't start with what is practical, but start with what seems far out of reach, but you would love to be there. You would love to do that. You would love to experience that. And then reverse engineer the dream, but don't reverse engineer the practical to get to the dream. You know, they say, if you shoot for this, if you shoot for the, I got it, don't finish my sentence from, stop. I know, stop. Can I finish my sentence? But can I, thank you. I was saying, they say that if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. False. You know how far the moon is from the Earth? It's like 230-something thousand miles from the Earth. You know how far the nearest star is from Earth? Not including the sun, which is like 92 million miles away. You know what the next nearest star is? 4.426 light years away. If you were traveling at the speed of light, it would still take you 4 years to get to the nearest star. If you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, don't worry, given our current scientific limitations, you will die. You will die before you ever reach the nearest star. You would die in outer space alone or with your astronaut colleagues. Your family will never hear from you again, having never hit the moon or the stars. My point is, if you want to shoot for the stars, if that's where you really want to land, which is a much cooler thing than just going to the moon, because man has already been to the moon. No one has been to another solar system. So if you want to make it to another solar system, something that's totally unrealistic, unfathomable, seems obviously unobtainable, you better start reverse engineering that thing and figuring out how to get to the stars. Because I know I'm missing the point of the quote, but it bears saying that, NASA doesn't say, yo, if we're trying to go to another solar system, they're not gonna say even if we miss. No, if we set out to do this, we're gonna freaking do it. Because if we don't, the results could be catastrophic. They could be deadly. If we're shooting for the stars, we're going to the freaking stars. There is no even if we miss.